Hey,
Hi,
it's Tash and Carly,
and you're listening to Motherhood,
not as we planned.
So get comfy, grab a cup of tea,
Or a glass of wine, and let's start talking about all the things too many of us avoid discussing. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode. I survived my first Valentine's single.
Your first.
Yeah.
I got it easy in like ages.
Valentine's single.
And how was it? You made it.
I made it. I'm here. And I didn't break any contact. Yay! Round of applause. 8 days, no contact.
8 days in.
8 days.
So how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been okay. I'm sort of just, it's I've had the kids.
Oh, you've had half term.
I think I've been really, really busy. Went to go see that film Migration, which
Isn't it?
and you've seen it.
Yeah.
I got a bit emotional.
Yeah, I cried. Does it make you want to travel with your kids?
It makes me want to be a bird.
Okay. That therapist you've been seeing.
I really, really want to fly. Wouldn't I just
I feel like I came away and was like, I just want to take my kids around to Drayford and
Yeah, so it was a really good film. And the weekend just gone, I had my grandma's 100th birthday.
Yeah. Congrats, Vandy.
Yeah, proper going for it. We did like a 3-day
Bender.
Literally 3-day bender. Had like a dinner on the Friday night, a lunch on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday we went to like a day centre with
stop. Have you seen that Instagram and TikTok account, like the retirement house?
No,
you need to follow it. It's literally, if I'm not having a bad day, I'll show you in a minute.
does it give you life?
They are goals, right? So it's these like friends, they like all live in this house together. I don't know if it's a legit like retirement home, but like there's all these old people and they jump on like all the trends. So you know the ones where they were putting the phone on the ceiling and be like, push the button. I need to show you because literally
Oh my God,
is one of the best things. They do all the trends. They like literally, it looks like the best time. It's like absolute goals for
I definitely, when I'm older, want to
100%.
place. Like my grandma lives at home, but she goes to this place in the day, and I don't know, it's just really cute. And then like, bearing in mind my grandma's 100, like she invited her hairdresser and nail tech girl. So it was really sweet. I think it was just a real eye opener of like 100 years. Like, can you imagine like what like her like life was like?
Doesn't that make you like feel like, wow, you have such a high percentage of your life left as well? Like, isn't that exciting?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, so I've had a very wholesome weekend. And then survived Valentine's. My sister did like a whole really, really cute setup. I was like,
Galentine's.
literally like proper romantic. Like, I actually don't think anyone's ever done anything like that for me before.
Some lucky man's missing out on her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a catch.
But yeah, so it was cute, and that is me. What about you?
Ugh, I'm disgusting, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So yeah, we went to Paris this weekend, and like honestly, like I knew it was going to be amazing, but it was like just even better. Like we just had so much fun. Like we just didn't stop laughing, eating. We had so much fun on Saturday night. We went to this really cool restaurant. And like the food was outstanding, but the atmosphere, like they had like musicians, they were like up on the things, so like we're all going around like dancing, and then at the end, like they move over to the bar and like everyone's going crazy. It was really good. And we didn't get into like 2 a.m. and then we were up at like 7 a.m. to explore the next day. But yeah, it was amazing. And then I feel really bad, like having had a good Valentine's, but like not gonna lie, I've had a really crap Valentine's Day for like the last 9 years, so I kind of feel like I was owed one. I was that girl who was told we don't do Valentine's Day, but I always wanted to do Valentine's Day, but that wasn't my decision. And last year was absolute shit. So I enjoyed it. He surprised me yesterday and took me to the restaurant. We had our first date, which was really cute, really thoughtful. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, I feel... It was in the car on the way over here, and I was just feeling like... It sounds ridiculous, but like I am... It's around this time last year, like my life was going hot.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a triggering day that, you know, certain stuff happened last Valentine's Day. And I was sat there in the car driving, feeling like I don't know if I'm going to do it, but just feeling like sending a thank you message to my ex, because I'm not going to. But genuinely was like, I would never have left. And I am so much happier than I was a year ago. I'm so much happier than I was 5 years ago. Like, I don't know. It's for anyone listening who is currently in those dark early days where you literally feel like you can't see beyond it. Like you do feel like your life is over. Like, let me tell you, you are the deciding factor in your healing. Like, you are the one who's got the power to realize how much better you deserve and to like accept your current circumstances and to not keep going over and over things, and just understanding like sometimes these things happen because better things are meant for us. And
One door closes.
100%. And look, a year ago I couldn't see that, and I was talking last night and was talking about like the low I hit. I have never felt that low. It was a year ago. I literally was holding someone's face, begging them to love me. Like, what the hell was I doing? And then I don't know if it was just like the thought and care that went into yesterday that made me feel like, wow, like what two extremes my life has been the last year. This time last year I was begging someone for love. This time someone's doing things that are so kind and thoughtful, and I'm like, I don't know, I just feel really proud that I've allowed myself to be open to things like that, and almost like taking responsibility for my happiness and my healing and where I go. Like, I think it can be very easy to get caught up and just dwell and almost like end up in a vicious cycle of feeling sorry for yourself, and then sometimes almost like enjoying being in that bad place. So yeah,
That's you.
that's me.
So we thought that we'd do something a bit different this week and actually open up our inbox, our emails, to do a bit more of like a Q&A vibe this week. And we've had some interesting questions coming in, so we thought we'd just sort of like delve right into them, and yeah,
We'll answer as honestly as we possibly can.
I mean, I just feel like I'm a bit too honest. And
I mean, there are levels of, also guys, there are levels of questions that are appropriate to ask. Honestly, like my questions I've had in question boxes recently on Instagram, someone genuinely asked me, is sex better with your new partner than your ex-husband? I mean, let's read between the lines firstly, guys. Like, I'd settle for anything other than freaking sensational. But like, no, on a serious note, like there are certain things that you just don't need to ask.
no, but yeah, I mean, sometimes we do, well, me, overshare and then we cut it out. So we'll see how we go.
Every week.
Okay, so here's a fun one to start with. What are both of your biggest icks and biggest green flags?
Oh, go on, you go first.
Okay, icks.
Like icks in terms of what? Like once you're with someone, or
No,
just
I'm
like
gonna
dating?
go with dating.
Yeah.
So, okay, one of my biggest icks is probably going to be, oh, what the fuck are my icks?
Mine's
Okay,
like,
hold on, no,
I've
I've
got
got a good ick. Bad breath. If
yeah.
someone has bad breath or like yellow teeth, nah, that is such an ick for me. Like any bad sort of smell is just like, even the word breath makes me feel a bit unwell.
I feel really not experienced enough in this.
But like, I've never dated someone with bad breath. I'm just saying, if I did,
Yeah, mine would
they
be
have bad
like
breath.
topless photos, like on an app.
Yeah, it is.
That is like, if I saw that, it'll be a swipe.
Yeah.
That's, look, everyone's posting their best pictures, and if absolutely you got, babe, like I don't know, there's just something about it for me. I
Like keep it the imagination.
right. I don't like it. I've got like an ick about like, I don't know, like men taking posed topless, like I don't know, like just the thought of like a man picking up a phone and being like, your face.
I'll tell you one of my icks.
Just tense, like when they're like,
No, I hate skinny jeans on men.
oh no, I love
No,
skinny
no,
jeans.
like full on skin tight, like in Love Island.
Oh, like when you can see like their muscles through it.
Yeah,
Oh.
just like it looks like they've been like painted on. Yeah, and skinny jeans are not a vibe for me. I'm more of like baggy.
BO.
Yeah, like I said.
BO is Anyone who smells like a wet dog, like, you know, like when someone's
smells of a wet dog, which really bothers me, when you cook halloumi.
haven't cooked halloumi in a...
I cooked it the other day and
did it?
and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if it was off. I still like,
No, like, you know, when someone like works out a lot and then like their clothes, like that damp sweat. If I like, yeah, that's an ick for me.
Actually, another ick I would say is if they don't want to pay on a first date.
I agree.
I think that you should be treated like, I don't care about this whole independent woman equal. No, sorry.
Nice.
Like, if you're taking me out on a date, pay. If you think we're halving it, you won't see me again.
Bad Felicia.
Literally.
It's something romantic about it as well. Like, I agree. Like, chivalry isn't dead.
Yeah,
you know,
it's opening a door.
Opening a door. A lot. There's something sexy.
Do you know what? Rather than talk about icks, can we talk about things that like
green flag? Well, she wanted green flag.
Okay, so but I don't know if it's a green flag, but for me, it's more like things that men do that like women really like that they may not know. So if there are any male listeners out there,
We're gonna help you out.
something that like I love is like if you're in the car with them and then they just sort of like touch your leg, like
Yeah.
love that. Or
Yesterday, well, it happens a lot. Yeah, it always opens my car door and lets me get in the closet. I've never had that in my life. Can we just, FYI, doors?
walking into a restaurant and they literally like, even if you're ahead of them, quickly go ahead of you.
Yeah.
Open the door.
Oh, I love that. Like manners, things like that. They cost nothing. They take about an extra 2 seconds and they mean so much to us. I think it also shows like a massive sense of respect. Like, and isn't there something sexy about a man like opening the door? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love a man who takes
Hand in the hair when you're kissing.
Oh, like straight, like
No.
no. Do you know what I like when they do this? No. I do love having my hair pulled.
Same, not when I'm wearing my extensions.
Yeah, I fixed it. I like it when like, they're tucking their hair, but it's that gentle touch, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, I
Anywho,
lost my train of thought.
green flags, things we like from men.
Do you know what? This isn't a green flag, but this is just something that I quite like. You're probably going to think I'm like weird, but there's something really nice about when I'm talking to a guy and then they call me by my full name. I don't mean my surname because Tash is
Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha.
I quite like that in a text.
That's
Like,
what I mean.
yeah.
So like, I don't know. I sort of feel a bit like
I really like a morning or a good night text. I think that's a really nice, like, I thought it's nice to think like I'm the first thing they thought of when I woke up and the last thing.
Do you find it an ick or like nice when you have like little nicknames? Like,
I quite like it.
yeah, like
Cute.
like if a guy calls me like baby, I like go a bit like,
Love it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so right. Yeah, that's not an ick for me. I really like that.
yeah, same.
Another one for me is
Oh, what's this? Ick or green flag?
ick.
Yeah.
Someone who's fussy with their food. So like even like, I don't know, someone who's like gym obsessed and has to like weigh everything and it has to be like protein galore. Sorry. But like, yeah, things like that. Or like, I don't know, I'm a massive foodie. So like, I want to be able to literally pick any restaurant and know I can go out with someone who's going to
Enjoy it too.
who's going to like literally look at the menu and be like, I don't know what to pick. Like, I really enjoy it.
I do appreciate
I also like sharing my food. Like, I'm someone who likes to go out when I eat meals and not necessarily have like my own meal to myself. I love a bit of like sharing and trying lots of new flavors and things. That's like, I don't know, I guess it's almost like a hobby of mine is eating. but like trying different flavors. And I think,
But I feel like food is a social aspect.
yeah, 100%.
And socialising in general. So I think, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like having someone that's a bit fussy with food can be slightly off-putting.
It would turn, I it's never happened to me, but if I was in a restaurant with someone and they'd be like, oh, I don't eat anything on the menu,
It's not very masculine.
I'd be like, well, okay, I'll order another one and I'll eat it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, it's something like not masculine, isn't it?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest icks with men when you're just starting to get to know them and they suddenly go full force into like sexual innuendos and like you've gone from having a normal conversation and they're like, yeah,
I'd love to stick it in you. I'd love to fucking stick it deep in you, babe. I'm sorry, men are...
You've got to do it at the right time, not the stick.
By the way, this has never happened to me. FYI.
You've got to, I feel like guys that don't kind of sense that kind of...
Read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
In the room.
I like a little cheekiness.
There's
or like...
about cheeky flanter, and then there's like completely
There's a line.
Inappropriate, like you just taking it way too far. Why are you talking about doing me up the bum? Do you know what I mean?
Why are you talking about gagging me and sticking a butt plug in? We've only just met.
About, like S&M, like I don't even know your surname.
Yeah, there's a line, and I think it's also to that point. I think when you're trying to connect with someone, for me, I would never go on a dating site to get some. Like that's just not. And I sort of thing. I know some people do, but for me, if someone was to literally turn the conversation to that without like having that getting to know me kind of thing, I'd be like, unmatched. Like that is a massive ick for me. But
Like, just buy me a fucking meal first, hon. At least feed me.
then you could talk to me about doing me up the bum. I'm joking. But yeah, no, it's I find it's like when we were talking about like way back dating things and like things like, I don't know, even when men sometimes like open up a conversation with something really sexual, like, are you up for a bit of M&F? And I was like, no, MMF. And I was like, what the hell? Literally, he'd said hi.
Yeah.
So, like, that is
Hi, let's have a
it.
threesome.
Hi, let's, yeah, that's just the biggest ick ever. I'm sorry. As well, if that's what you would, just go out and find it. Like, go. Yeah. Oh, like, it's making me feel a bit funny.
Right, so we had another question. Here's an interesting one. Due to get married this year, any advice, regrets, things you do differently for a happy marriage?
Not do it. I'm joking.
You were going to say
Yeah, I had to say it. Don't do it.
I think for me, one of the things is like really being on that, like in that mindset of being a team and not trying to always have like one on the other. Not one on the other. Like, do you know what I mean?
Not one-upmanship.
Yeah, like if one's having a bad day, it's not, you don't even know what a bad day is. My day's been worse. I'm so
What can I do? What can I do?
bad day. Like what happened? Hear them, listen to them, help them, and then also share your struggles. I feel like sometimes you get so comfortable in a relationship that it's almost like you forget. Do you know what? I saw this thing on TikTok and it was really, really interesting. And when you're dating at the beginning, it's almost like you're working towards like, is this going to be my person? Am I going to end up getting married to them? And then once you get married to them, it's like people see that as the end goal. Marriage should be the start. Like you should continue dating your partner.
That's what I was getting married. That would be my advice. Is like, carry on dating.
Someone can always go. Someone can always get led astray. Like you need to, like marriage should be the start, not the end goal. There is the start, and then the finish line, sorry to be brutal, is like death. Like marriage shouldn't be the end goal.
No, I agree.
It's the beginning, and then you continue dating and learning about each other and supporting and hearing. And
I think for me, it would be like making sure you're making quality time for each other still, like as you become a family and things. I think it's really important for you to have that one-to-one time, like things like dating, things like exploring, and still doing things you love doing together and not losing that just because you're married or just because you've got kids, I think is really important. And also like, I don't know, like things I would tell myself now, if I could go back in time and tell myself things before I got married, genuinely where I was, and it takes a lot for me to say this, I don't think I should have married that person because there were a lot of things now what I know weren't there and were never there. But like things like having a solid communication base that you feel really confident going into a marriage, knowing you are heard, you are listened to, you know, your feelings are made valid. Because I think if you don't have that before you go into marriage, everything that comes with marriage in terms of the family, in terms of, I don't know, buying a family home, all like the adulting stuff makes that communication harder. And, you know, as you go through things in life, there are going to be times where you need to have difficult conversations. And if you can't navigate those in a way where you feel safe, it's not going to work. And I think for me, that is the biggest thing now, is I would need to know that that person can give me that. Because look, as amazing as things can be in the early days when you're dating, as you start to do more of life together and, you know, you become a family, whatever it is, life throws things at you, and it's not about dodging those bad things. It's not about avoiding bad things happening. It's, you know, life has up and downs. Life is an absolute roller coaster. I think it's really important you are with someone who wants to do that with you and says, you know, look, I want to do all the good times with you, but I want to get through those bad times with you too.
Yeah. I think that, again, I don't want to like put it all on the man, but for me personally, I feel like it's quite common for men to make the mistake of, once they're married and once they're in that like solid relationship, they no longer put in the work. The romance sort of dies down, like, and maybe also the woman like feels like, oh, I don't need to make the effort now. Like, you've now got each other. Like relationships take work, and you should always
100%.
remember to kind of like make that effort. I don't just mean like put on makeup and put on some sexy lingerie. I just mean in general, like both showing up and still constantly remembering to appreciate each other and showing it. You were at the beginning,
showing that interest, like that interest in each other. Like, I don't know, like genuinely being interested in whether it's the other person's work or whatever it is.
I think the bottom line is don't get complacent. Neither of you to get complacent. Complacency gets lazy, you start slacking, and then people start straying. End of.
Mic drop. Just going to throw it on the floor, but I thought I need that. Have your exes got new partners, and have they met the kids? If so, how have you dealt with that? You go first.
There's a big grin on my face. I'm always very cautious of like not oversharing too much about someone else's business. But yeah, he does have a partner, whatever you like to call her. I'm not too sure. She hasn't met my kids. I don't think they're at that point yet. We've spoken about it, and I feel like he's very much got the same respect that I had, and as and when it would be happening, I would know beforehand. Hopefully that happens. It does fill me with dread a bit, like the thought of another woman meeting my children, because you're not able to like vet that person and like choose like, I don't actually think she's good enough to meet my kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, will this person meet my kids? I don't know. So just sort of, yeah, going with it. Did they say that?
Just how have we dealt with it? Obviously, it's something, wow.
Neither of us have dealt with it yet.
As far as I'm aware.
But your kids would tell you?
Yeah, no, Theo would tell me. Yeah, similar situation to Tash. Yes, mine is with someone. For me, my biggest concern is her meeting the children. I kind of also feel like at this point, the amount he sees the kids, I don't feel like it's necessary for them to have that introduction.
I understand what you mean by that.
Like, I feel like it's not that often, so that it's not like a convenience thing. And also, I think the biggest thing for me, like, I've been with my boyfriend for 9 months and we've still not done it because our kids have obviously been through their parents breaking up, and his kids are a little bit, some of his kids are, that sounds like he's got loads. A couple of his kids are a bit older than mine, and I think those ages are quite complex. And our biggest priority is prioritising how the kids feel, broaching when they feel like they're ready. And I feel like and this is just me, and everyone's different, and I'm not here judging anyone because people do what they feel is right for them and their kids. I feel like around a year at least it takes for a child to adjust to like their new circumstances. Like, they're still adjusting to their parents not being together, and I think it can take quite a long time to process, like, mummy and daddy aren't together anymore, they don't love each other, whether or not they understand why that happened. And I feel like to then introduce someone new could bring up some uncomfortable feelings, and I think we both want to just make sure our kids are feeling safe and loved. And like, I'd never want to come into someone's life and then be like, oh, is she going to take away some of my attention from daddy, and vice versa. And I feel like Theo's a very, he's very like hyper aware of emotions, and I would never want him to think, oh, like this man's coming in and he's going to take away attention from mummy and things like that. Look, when the time is right, we will absolutely do it.
Do you feel like that because you've waited and you've been together for such a long time and you haven't introduced him yet, that you feel like he should be waiting the same amount of time?
I just, look,
because 9 months is quite a long time.
It is a long time, I agree. But I just feel like, unless I genuinely felt like his relationship was serious, and look, I understand that 9 months is a long time, and most people probably do it before that. This is what we just feel is right, and the good thing is we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel ready, not because I'm not sure of him. I'm 100% sure of him. For me, I worry about my kids.
Yeah. Do you know what I think it is? Sometimes I do think it's not necessarily about time, it's about the relationship. And that's what I think that you're trying to get at with him. You know, my kids met my ex-boyfriend after 4 months, but we were so set and sure of each other that we were in a place where we felt like it was right. And I have no regrets on that. 4 months down the line, I'm not to know that after a year we would be
No, I agree.
However, I think that I would just hope that my ex-husband would be in a serious enough relationship, like
to know there's longevity. Yeah.
If it's like a bit like, oh, well, they just see each other occasionally and there's not much, I think, depth to the
I agree.
No need to involve children. And I guess also with the men, with the dads that maybe only have their kids every other weekend, you've got so much other time to see that partner that do the kids need to be involved.
And like, as well, do the kids need to be involved? And also I feel like, is that going to take away from the attention they get from their dad when they're with him? And they don't get that a lot.
I've never really thought about that, because obviously they had the kids say 20% of the time, even 30% of the time.
So then they're then sharing that with another person. That's, I don't know, that's stuff that goes through my head.
I do appreciate.
I think that time he has with them is really important, that he's like giving them as much of him as they can, because it is a small period of time. I also feel like with me and my boyfriend is that over the last however many months, like, whilst I'm very, very sure in him, I'm also dealing with my trauma and trust issues, which I hold my hands up and say, like, I have found challenging, not because I've had any red flags, but because of what I've been through. And so, like, there are things I've been working on in myself, and I wanted to be in a place where I wouldn't have any wobbles or like any episodes of trying to self-sabotage. Like, it's not even about me and him, it's about me being in a place where I feel really confident in myself to know that this is a very stable situation, then we can bring someone in. And I think, like, until I got to that point, and look, like, for me, the last month or so, something has massively clicked. And I do feel, it's weird to say it, and a year ago I would never have said it, I feel really safe right now, secure, which is for me like the ultimate goal. And that was it. Like, I wanted to reach a point where I felt safe, because my boys are my little bubble, they're my world. And the thought of, God, like, if someone came in and then I was to get hurt again, like, that would terrify me. So I don't know, I guess it's like a protection thing. But yeah, it's, I don't know, the thing I get stressed about, and it's things like this, I feel like it's really easy to ruminate and like overthink stuff. But it's like, in my head, I'm like, oh, well, he only sees the kids like every other weekend and then that Friday night. And if one of those days is taken up by them together, like, are they not going to get as much of him? Like, is it going to be focused? Like,
I guess it's like anything though, like, we can't control what something.
No, you can't.
As and when it happens for us both, it's something that we're going to have to deal with. We do get so many questions about it. And I guess until one of us experience it, we can only speak on like...
And look, I guess the other way round, maybe when the time comes when I do introduce my kids to my boyfriend, that'll be something my ex might struggle with. Like, the thought of...
I don't mind it.
Yeah, the thought of another man like being in your kid's life. But at the end of the day, I do think, like, if if your kids are getting more love from someone else as well, that can only benefit a child to feel loved and special and important. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But yeah, it's obviously something we've not been through. I think naturally it's one of my biggest worries.
I think it's probably most people's worries.
Yes.
When it comes to...
And look, at the end of the day, I know that no one is ever going to replace me as a mum. And that is the bottom line, really.
Yeah. This one is, to me, asking when I'm ready to date, will I go back on the dating apps, and when do I think I'll be doing that?
Oh, to you?
Yeah. Why? Do you want to go back on the dating app?
No thanks. Hard pass.
When I do start dating again, I would definitely go back on the dating apps. I feel like it is really the modern way now to meet people.
Yeah.
When, I don't really have the answer for that yet.
What's that smell?
What?
What's that smell?
I don't know.
Oh, wave, all the red flags flying my way. Dodge, 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 dodge. Oh, red flag, dodge.
I do find the whole concept quite daunting.
Yeah. I can't,
I think that it's very different first time round to this time round, because I think first time round I was sort of able to sit there and be like, well, I know that I can't really get any worse. Like, I've come out of...
Standards so high, Tash. Wow.
What I mean is, like, it's very difficult to go back on a dating app and not sit there comparing guys to the person that you've just been with when they ticked so many boxes.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So I don't know whether, like, I'll think I'm ready, I'll download it, I'll start doing my scrolling, and then I'll be like,
delete.
I want to crawl into a book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the when I'm unsure of, but when I do it, it will be the apps. Exciting times. I'll keep you updated.
Do some episodes on that.
How do you accept them moving on with the woman he cheated on you with?
You just have to accept the cards, and like, there's no point ruminating. It is what it is.
I also think we've spoken about it previously, haven't we? Like, at the end of the day, if a guy is capable of cheating on you, he's also capable of cheating on them, and you've almost got to... Do you know what? I was actually thinking about it earlier today, okay? I was actually listening to our episode out today, and I don't know why it came up in my head, but I was just having this thought process of, like, you know, I know a lot of people struggle with when they're with someone and that person wasn't able to give them what they want, and they're sort of like, why couldn't he do this for me? Why couldn't he be that way? And now it looks like he's doing that for someone else. That someone else may have much lower standards, expectations, 100%. And values than you. You don't want to have to lower them to meet the needs of someone that wasn't able to meet them. So sometimes you might sit there and think, like, oh my God, he's changed and he's amazing for that person. Why couldn't he be that way for me? The likelihood is they probably haven't changed. They've just managed to find someone that has lower standards in the best possible way. And I'm not putting that woman or man down. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different expectations of what they want their partner to be. And something that might be really, really important to me may be quite irrelevant to another person. And that's why people go better with other people.
I also think, like, my piece of advice would be, like, focus on the things that weren't good, or like that you didn't like, or made you feel like rubbish, because those things in that person still exist, and, like, in my eyes, like, they're just someone else's problem now.
Yeah.
Like, all those things, like, again, it's like similar to what you said, but all those things where my needs weren't being met, you know, that lack of communication, they've not gone away and suddenly developed their communication skills. They've not gone away. I can guarantee you, they've not gone away and done self-development and become this incredible, shiny, amazing person. They're just taking their problems to someone else. They've just taken those things somewhere else.
You have to remember that the first 3 months of dating, people are very different to what they are normally. And you've almost got to feel sorry for those women because they probably think they've hit the fucking
So there's like certain things I sometimes think about, like, well, someone else has got dirty pants just left on their bedroom floor, or like,
what skiddies.
Ick.
The longer you kind of hold on to that anger and stuff, it just ends up eating away at you and stopping your healing. I think it is just, you know,
you can't control someone else. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm the one in charge of my happiness, and that's what I'm focusing on now. Like, I actually feel like over the last few weeks, something massively has shifted for me in terms of, I don't know, things like trusting, things like feeling safe. But I think as a result of that, it's almost made me feel like just a bit indifferent to everything else going on in terms of like my ex-husband. I literally, I've noticed Stephen should be so proud of me. Like, we literally don't talk at all. Like, our communication, do you remember when I used to like react to everything? Like, communication is literally bare minimum.
Yeah.
And if there have been certain things said, I ignore it now because genuinely, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm very much at the stage where I'm so happy and I just want to close that chapter. And look, I'm always going to have a link to him as the father of my kids. But where I can keep that minimal, it is what it is. Move on with whoever you want to move on with. Yeah, it's not ideal, but
it's what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
What would both of your perfect dates be, but it can't be dinner?
Like, how far are we talking? Like, is this like take me abroad or just like
whatever you want? But maybe like semi-realistic. Like, he's not flying around a helicopter.
Okay, fine. So this isn't like 50 Shades.
No. Yeah.
And take me to, okay,
goals.
Do you know what I'd really like to do? I want to go to Harry Potter Studios.
That's really cute.
I love Harry.
Expelliarmus.
Yeah. I love Harry Potter. So I'd either want to do something like that, like literally that fun day out. Like, that's like my date vibe.
Yeah.
Like, take me somewhere like that. But I feel like they've got to be into it too.
Well, yeah, that would be weird.
I guess actually it would be quite cute even if they didn't like it and they actually did it genuinely
for you.
That's
cute, yeah.
So that would be my day thing. And then, like, this is going to sound like really, really cheesy, but like, for me, it's not about someone like going all out and loads of money. Like, I would just love to like go to their house and they just like set up the whole thing, like really, really cute. Like, even if they like made like a little like den with a movie on, they've made dinner, they've lit candles, they've put rose, like just stuff like that I'd never really had before. And I feel like it's just cute.
Yeah.
And romantic. And even if, like, you know, before that date they sent you like a little letter inviting you, I don't know, just where's the romance, people? Men, like, come on, be romantic. Like, it doesn't actually take that much.
My boyfriend made
things. Yeah, like
they exist. Let's hold on to hope. Okay. Mine would be, okay, so we're talking like midsummer. We go to a beach and we're going like late afternoon and he's taking a whole picnic. We've got blankets, we've got cushions, we've got maybe some rose petals. He's got like a hamper of like this beautiful picnic. We've got like some strawberries covered in chocolate. He's got all my favourite picky bits, you know. We've got a bottle of champagne and then we're just going to chill. We're going to eat and laugh and we're going to watch the sunset over the sea.
And I can't.
You want it, don't you?
Well, I say something. Do you want to know what's funny? I've got a picnic on the beach and a sunset
on your vision board.
Like, they are like, sunsets are my favourite.
It's my goal. That's
like, I love.
Take note, boyfriend. Now you're listening.
Take note, anyone that's listening that wants to take me out on a date.
That is like literally. That's what I mean. For me, it's not the expensive. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is lovely when we go out for nice dinners and things like that. Yeah. But I'm the same. Like, things that have meaning. Like, before Christmas, my boyfriend set me up this den. And because he knew that's what I wanted, like, he knows I like all those kind of things. Things like, even like, I don't know, like in the back of a camper van, same thing, like blankets, duvet, like set up, sit somewhere, watch the sunset. I find it so romantic.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Or stargazing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Little things. It is the thoughtful stuff for me. Like, same with you. Like, I'd love a love letter or... like, I don't know, yeah, just something, turn up at my door and be like, be ready for 8, here's your dress.
Yeah, if anyone wants to turn up at my door.
Yeah.
My address is.
I'll take anyone. I'm joking. Right, if we do this, we got an email
From a man.
So we wanted to read it because obviously we do have a massively female perspective because we are females and all of you have written in so far have been females, so it's just kind of gone that way. So
Okay, here we go. Advice from a male viewer.
love this.
Love the pod even as a male. Keep it up. I love this. Long story short, my ex broke up with me a week before Valentine's Day. After being together for 8 years, she was my best friend and she was everything to me. So her breaking up with me was a shock. I asked her to meet me so we could talk because she just all of a sudden left and then didn't want to see me. I finally got her to see me. She said she doesn't want to be with me anymore because she wants to find herself and focus on herself. I asked her if she could ever see us again being a thing. She replied with maybe in like 2 years when I found myself. Sorry, I find that really weird just to like cut an 8-year relationship off and then be like, let's go back together in 2 years. After we had this talk, she kissed me and one thing led to another and we had sex. I mean, that does tend to happen when you meet up.
Speak from experience, aren't you, Tash?
Never. And after it, I was like, can we try again? Because I feel like there's love there when we have sex. She said, no, I just wanted to end it on a high. Sorry, that's...
I don't like that.
No. We are now in no contact for around 2 weeks. I'm so confused by the whole situation. I broke no contact twice and got told to leave her alone. Sorry, my heart actually breaks for you a bit because I just don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken. She was my best friend and now she wants to be strangers. I even asked her if we could be friends because I value her as a person. So even to talk to her as a friend would mean so much more than none of it. Please reply to this on the pod. I'm sorry if it's too long. The thing is, like, it does sound weird that she hasn't really given you much, like...
What does she want to do in those 2 years? She's going to Bali.
It sounds a bit weird. I'm not for a second suggesting at all that she's done anything unfaithful because sometimes I think that, again, maybe this is a bit harsh of me, but I feel like it's more men that tend to not leave unless they've got someone else. Maybe that's unfair for me to say.
I just think it's unfair to be like, maybe in 2 years. I think if you're going to end it, you have to end it. You can't get... So I feel like by saying that, in a sense, she's kind of almost saying like, hang around for me, like, wait for me, I'll be ready in 2 years. I don't think that's very fair on you.
I will say, though, is I actually think that although it doesn't seem this way, she is doing you a favour by sticking to the no contact and ignoring you. I know no contact is really hard. Like, I really, really relate to it. Like, I'm only 8 days in and we broke up a month and a half ago. Like, it is really difficult. And you've always got to have that one person that's maybe trying to be stronger for both of you. She is sort of doing you a favour. You being friends with her or staying friends with her isn't really something that you can do. I can't resonate enough with the fact that you're saying that you'd rather be in your life than be strangers. Like, the thought of someone that you love, that you still want to be with, become a stranger is, I think, the hardest part of my breakup. Like, he is my best friend and I would love to be friends with him, but we wouldn't be friends. We would be people that are still talking and still love each other, and it's just impossible to move forward. So my advice to you would be that you need to just remind yourself that someone that you're meant to be with won't want to end things for no reason whatsoever. Like, you can, you know, work on yourself and learn about yourself whilst being in a relationship. If it's
and allowing each other to have that space to grow, but still being able to support each other. Look, my opinion, it doesn't sound like she's been entirely honest with you, which I think is the hardest bit, because I think if you've been with someone for that long, surely you should have that respect. Like, fair enough, look, if she doesn't want to be with you, sometimes it happens, but it's, you know, talking about those reasons and understanding. I also think it's really important to understand, like, why a relationship broke down, because then you can take that into things going forward. You kind of become aware of perhaps strengths and weaknesses and things you need to work on in yourself. I think it's really difficult because she hasn't given you a reason. I also think by not giving you a reason, she's showing you a level of disrespect.
Yeah, you know how they say, like, no response is
a response. And I think you also need to remember, like, you're deserving of someone who absolutely loves you and wants to communicate effectively with you and work together as a team. And, heartbreak is awful, but yeah, sending you love and strength, because it does sound like the no contact is probably, unfortunately, the best way through this.
Yeah, no contact is difficult, so I really, really get it. 2 weeks, you just got to take each day. Unfortunately, that is all that you can do, and ride the wave.
Yeah,
like, it's just one of those things. But thank you for emailing in. Like,
more men.
First guy that's ever emailed in. So if you're listening, guys, email us. Okay, we've got a confession of the week. This title is "The Worst Sex Confession Still Cringes Me Out 8 years down the line." Okay. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Ladies, I'm totally obsessed with your podcast. Tash, you're doing so well, and Kylie, so glad you're happy. Cutie, thank you. So I was talking to this guy for not very long. Anyway, we went on a few dates, etc. He was a bit older than me, a lot older than me. So we were just at different stages in our life. So we cut it off. No hard feelings. Fast forward a year, my train broke down and I popped in the local shop to get a drink and wait for the next one. Never guess who I walked into. That same guy. Anyway, we started chatting again. I went back to his house. He lives with his old nana, by the way, like she was 80. I did find this weird at the time, but thought, cute, he's looking after his nana. Things started getting frisky. We were having sex on his bed. He was licking me out, and then the fucking nana walks in with my legs wide open.
Oh my God.
And his precious grandson between my legs. Oh my God, I literally died. He even told his nan to get out and he would be down for tea in a minute. She didn't know what to say.
Nana.
She just left hobbling along. I quickly got dressed and walked 3 miles home because I didn't want to be anywhere near him. It cringed me out. So
I've got this thing in my head of like this 50 or 60-year-old man, like, Nana,
I'll lay down for tea and
I'll be down for tea in a minute. I'm not done with licking hands yet. I don't know what that accent is.
Oh my God.
No.
It's the way that he paused and was like, I'll be down for tea.
It's everything about that story is giving me the egg. Oh God, I feel unwell. Right.
Oh, okay.
Give me an affirmation.
Affirmation.
The best is yet to come.
Please.
The best is yet to come.
Right. The best is yet to come.
I don't know. I feel quite inspired. Like we were talking about your grandma turning 100.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so many years ahead. That's like more than what you've lived. The best is yet to come.
Yeah. Please, God, the best is yet to come.
Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, share. Honestly, guys, you sharing our podcast helps us grow massively.
Thanks, guys. Lots of love. Bye.